Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. This topic is, why does my husband overreact to everything? And I want to give you more information than just why does he overreact to everything. I mean, I can do that. You don't have to be a psychotherapist to respond to that. But what's really important to you, isn't it, is that your marriage is better, is that your connection is better, and you feel that his overreactions to things that you say and do or look or whatever is interfering with your connection. And you're thinking, wow, if we could just take care of this, everything would be fine. And you know that that's not true. Before I was a marriage saver, I was a divorce mediator of all things. And people would come in and, you want to do just allocate the time for the kids and allocate this is for you and this is for you and come to an agreement. But everybody wants to express what they did wrong to hurt our marriage, to ruin our marriage. It could have been great if only they blah, blah, blah. Never did I once hear, you know what, I really blew it. I should have. You never hear that. So and I started developing kind of a thick skin. But then a couple asked me to help them, this is over 20 years ago, to help them save their marriage. I was taken aback. I was a divorce mediator. Yeah, I'm great with communication, interactions, negotiation, all of that, but marriage, I didn't know anything about marriage. Mine didn't work. Now it does, but mine didn't work over 20 years ago. And I went to many therapists too, but I thought it was myself and my wife, and we didn't get each other. Your mind comes up with all these excuses. By the way, are you a subscriber? Because if you are, you'll get a lot of knowledge now. Because what happened was, when I said, okay, I'll help you, the first place I went for learning about marriage were to my therapist friends, because they sent me all the clients that I had. And I was shocked. Because one of the first questions that I asked was, where do you take your couple? How do you get them to have a happy marriage? And they all went, what? Oh no, we just listen and we help them with their problems. And so I thought, well, this isn't going to work. So I started asking people why you get married in the first place. Literally, I'm asking everyone I know. Even when I'm standing in line at Starbucks, I would ask someone, hey, why did you get married? Oh, I fell in love with. No. But why get married at all? Nobody had an answer. We all get married to the person we marry because we love them. But I want to know, but why get married at all? The answer to that question came to me. We get married because we want to be happier. We want to, and not only that, but we want to experience unconditional love. We call it marital bliss, right? Marital love. And I realize if you have that love, you're going to really feel happy, because nothing makes you happier than love, real love. I'm not talking about, oh, I love this car, I love this TV, I love, the Grand Canyon, and I love the Grand Canyon, but I'm not going to sit there all day and watch the Grand Canyon for my happiness. The true happiness comes from within. In marriage, there's this very special entity that we come together with our soulmate for the purpose of experiencing joy and love. That's why we get married. And then we lose sight of that almost immediately because we don't have any training in this world. What's normal in this world is it's sort of like the next step. Met him, date him, get engaged to him, marry him. It's like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but there's something missing. Get educated. Know what you're getting into with marriage. Know why you are getting married. Look, you have to admit you didn't know that you got married to be happy. and for love. My telling you this, and I know this because I met with hundreds of couples, and when I proposed this, I would always propose it as a question. Because I was a divorce mediator, it was very interesting, because I was a divorce mediator in my office. I had a table and chairs, I didn't have the couch, and I had a big whiteboard, 4x8 whiteboard, so I could divvy up the assets and all of that. So what I would do, I used the tools that I had. It turned out to be great. So I would ask the couple who came to see me, why did you get married? And if your reason is better than my reason, based on your judgment, you don't have to pay for the sessions. Sessions were $300, by the way, and this is in early 2000, was not cheap. And so I would list what they thought were the reasons they got married. Good reasons, all of them. I want companionship, want to have children, want to fit in society. A couple does that. Good reasons. No, well, I take that back. 2 people actually said, I wanted to be happy and I wanted to feel love. 2 people. Out of over 200 people, no one else said that. We're not taught. We're not taught. So we get married without direction, you see. If you know you want to be happy, if you know you want love, and you know you have free will, which you do, and you know you have a consciousness of what love is, the rest is figuring out how to get there, which is what I did for my couple. Okay, how do you get happier in your marriage? First step is, what are we doing that's messing things up? And I realized it was a binary thing. You choose your behaviors. If I do this, how's it going to work? Is it going to make us happier, or is it going to undermine? For instance, arguing. Everyone says, oh no, we argue, but not much. And I realized, no, you shouldn't be arguing ever at all. So with my couple, I did all of this, showed it, took only a few sessions, and they were happy. A couple of weeks later, I'm going to call him John, comes back. He says, Paul, this really is helping, but he goes, I can't control myself. He says, I get angry, I get annoyed, I become impatient, I become judgmental. I'm still blaming her for everything. And I go, all right, I hear you. Now, I've been meditating since 1972, January of 1970, shortly after my birthday. So I talk to God a lot. More than that, I listen. And not so many people do that in the world, but I do. So I said, John, let me get back to you. I meditated, quieted, still myself, and I opened myself up. Lord, what do I tell John? What do I do? This flood of knowledge just came into my mind. I saw the whole thing. It was crazy. Nothing I ever could have come up with on my own. I saw how the mind works. I saw the relationship between the soul, the body, and the mind. I realized I'm a soul. I have a body, I have a mind. I realized that the mind is mostly manipulated by the body, by the drive to survive. That little thing we call self-preservation dominates our lives until we stop it. Most importantly, I came up with a technique. I call it the SO technique. S, stop. Stop the mind right away, wherever it is. E, evaluate. W, act with wisdom. Seems pretty simple. Shared it with John. Used it for myself. I, at that time, still had a big anger problem. I had a huge anger problem in the 90s. I could never overcome it. I was able to stop it, so it wasn't hurting people anymore very much, but it was still there. This So technique, I was able to eliminate the anger problem. And this is what happened. And this was, you might call, the genesis for the Marriage Foundation, because what happened was I started using these other techniques too, but a lot of techniques, a lot of information, it started snowballing, it came together. I was working with couples, and then I started working only with individuals, because you could save your marriage or turn it around all by yourself. It became crazy good. Then, unfortunately, in 2008, I lost my son, couldn't do it anymore. A family friend said, let's put it on the internet. And here we are, we're the Marriage Foundation. So I don't go into why your husband overreacts to everything. He does because he does. But I do go into, you can have the most amazing marriage where you're floating, where you're on cloud nine, where you're just walking around in this blissful state of love and joy. You just got to know how to get there. And that's what you do. Don't worry about him overreacting. Who cares? Everyone overreacts to some things. He isn't perfect. You're not perfect. We all have flaws. But you can make your marriage perfect by gaining mastery over your mind. And I discovered this. This is an essential component for marriage health. To have dominance, control, mastery over your mind. It's your mind. It's your mind. You don't have to do what it says. It's supposed to do what you say. But you got to learn how. Now, if you have been following, you know that this stuff is so different from what's out there. And we get that in the comments section all the time. Wow, this is so different. I've learned so much and very positive things. Other people go, you're nuts. Fine, well, I'm both. I'm wonderful and I'm crazy at the same time. But I'm very sincere. I'm old enough to be retired, you can tell. But I'm very sincere about changing the world one marriage at a time. If you'd like to join and become a TMF marriage counselor, come see what we have to offer. It's on the website. And let's get you started too. Okay, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. We're here for you. God bless you. I do hope this was helpful. Like the video if it was. And leave a comment if you wish. And God bless you. God bless you and take care. Thank you.